I have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader. Outside of rebounding her own missed layups, what does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night, and for 27 minutes, she completely disappeared.
Angel Reese's performance at the United Center was widely criticized as one of the most disappointing of her career. In front of a sold-out crowd of 19,496 fans, the Chicago Sky were overwhelmed by the Indiana Fever, losing 79-52. Reese contributed only 4 points on 2 of 7 shooting, a stark contrast to her usual rebounding prowess, where she leads the Sky with an average of 12.3 rebounds per game. Despite her efforts on the boards, her offensive struggles were evident, and the team suffered without the presence of veteran point guard Courtney Vandersloot, who sustained a season-ending ACL injury during the game.
There's a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing, destruction, annihilation, cremation, whatever you want to call it, roasting, sauteed, whatever your form of cooking may be. But the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky.
The United Center game was supposed to be Angel Reese's big moment to prove she could carry viewership and attendance without needing Caitlin Clark as the main attraction. The Chicago Sky had been pushing this narrative all season long, that Reese was just as much of a box office draw as Clark, that fans came to see her play too. However, when Clark was sidelined due to injury, ticket prices plummeted to as low as $7, casting doubt on that claim.
Angel Reese is now quoted as saying, "I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we're watching women's basketball is not just because of one person." She refuses to say Caitlin Clark's name. "It's because of me too, and I want you to realize that."
Then reality hit like a freight train. Once Caitlin Clark was confirmed out with her quad injury, ticket prices collapsed, from premium levels to just $3. $3. You can't even buy a decent coffee for that price, yet that's what people were willing to pay to watch Angel Reese play basketball at the United Center. This wasn't just a small dip in pricing either. These were tickets that had been selling at a premium for what was supposed to be a marquee WNBA matchup between two of the league's rising stars. The moment Clark's absence became official, the bottom fell out of the secondary market. Scalpers couldn't give the tickets away. Fans who had been eager for the game suddenly lost interest. The message from the market was loud and clear. There's only one true draw right now, and her name is Caitlin Clark.
Last night was somewhat of a big moment for Angel Reese and the Chicago Bravado. For starters, the WNBA moved the game out of the local dump the Bravado usually play in and relocated to the United Center, which is the largest arena in the NBA, holding over 20,000 people. Now, to their credit, there seemed to be a good crowd in the United Center last night. I had someone who was at the game send me a few pictures, and most sections seemed to be filled. It wasn't a sellout, but there was supposedly over 19,000 people in attendance. Of course, it's easier to draw a decent crowd when tickets are selling for $3 hours before the game starts.
Social media told the whole story. Fans flooded timelines with screenshots of $3 tickets, laughing emojis in tow, joking that they could now afford to bring their entire family to see the Chicago Sky for less than the cost of parking. The excitement that had been building around this United Center showdown deflated faster than a punctured basketball. Let's be real, this was supposed to be Chicago's moment to shine. The Sky had been promoting Angel Reese as a rising star, claiming she brought her own fan base and was appointment television. But when Caitlin Clark was ruled out, the truth became unavoidable. Without Clark, the buzz vanished, and the secondary ticket market crashed. The fans had spoken, and it was clear who they were really paying to see. Meanwhile, Angel Reese made sure her outfit was flawless. From matching boots and jackets to coordinated gloves and hats, she clearly put a lot of effort into her pre-game look. But it raises a fair question. Does she put as much time into improving her game as she does into curating her tunnel walk fashion? The contrast between her hype and Clark's actual drawing power was stark. In games featuring Clark, ticket sales soared, arenas sold out, and fans lined up hours early just to watch her warm up. This wasn't just a fluke. It's a reflection of who's really moving the needle in the WNBA right now.
What an outfit Angel Reese was rocking. She put a lot of time, a lot of effort into making sure her ensemble was on point. Are my boots matching my jacket? Are my gloves matching my hat? Angel Reese put in tons of time for this outfit, which begs the question, does Angel Reese put in more time in her outfits for the pre-game catwalk, or does she put in more time to actually get better at the game of
Even Chicago Sky fans seemed noticeably less engaged without the highly anticipated Caitlin Clark matchup on the horizon. The energy that had been building shifted from electric anticipation to something closer to resigned obligation. Watch parties that had been planned in advance were quietly canceled. Many fans suddenly found other ways to spend their Friday night. What was supposed to be a marquee event began to unravel the moment Clark was ruled out, and the impact was felt not just in the stands, but on the court. The $3 ticket fiasco turned out to be more than just a market correction. It was a warning sign. What followed was nothing short of Angel Reese's worst nightmare playing out on the league's biggest stage. The plummeting ticket prices didn't just reflect fan disinterest, they foreshadowed the underwhelming performance that followed. For all the hype surrounding Chicago's supposed superstar, the moment called for a breakout performance, and it never came.
There were people in the crowd getting there early saying, "Hey, Caitlin, can you sign my jersey? Hey, Aaliyah, can you sign my shirt? Hey, Sophie, can you sign my picture?" There were people asking for autographs in the Chicago Sky crowd that weren't even born yet the last time the Chicago Sky scored this little amount of points. There were people in the crowd who weren't even a thought in their parents' minds at the time that the Chicago Sky last scored at least 52 points, the lowest point total since 2000.
Angel Reese, Part 38. Let's get into it. When life throws her lemons, she doesn't make lemonade. She makes bricks. Bang. PSA to anyone watching. Yes, she's right-handed. Right-handed, by the way, which makes it even more baffling when her shot misses the rim by a good 3 feet. At this point, I have to admit, this might be my favorite summer sitcom. Call it Pan Buttercon because it's slipping all over the place. And here's a stat to chew on. Reese has been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 field goals. Let that sink in. Nearly a 1-to-1 ratio between blocks and buckets. That's not just rough. That's historically inefficient. For someone marketed as a star, the numbers and performances are starting to tell a much different story.
Angel Reese, Part 38, let's get it! Life throws her lemons, she makes bricks. Bang! PSA to anyone watching, she is right-handed. Right-handed, by the way. She missed the rim by 3 feet, man. Bang! I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan? Butter pecan? Bang! Here's a stat. She's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops. What?
4 points on 2 of 7 shooting in 27 minutes of action. This is how a reputation unravels in real time. On a national stage with all eyes watching, Angel Reese delivered a performance that fell dramatically short of expectations. The United Center was hosting its first ever WNBA game, a landmark moment for the city and the league. CBS cleared its primetime schedule, offering the game a rare spotlight with no competing broadcasts. A sold-out crowd filled the NBA's largest arena, ready for a showcase.
For a fact, This might have been the first WNBA game broadcast on CBS in prime time. If it's not the first, it's one of very few. This was a big moment. I'm sure the WNBA would call it historic. Angel Reese is playing in an NBA arena in prime time on network television on Saturday night. Outside of regular season baseball, maybe the College World Series, there was no competition on television. The eyes of the sports world were focused on Angel Reese and the WNBA. And Angel Reese once again proved why no one is watching her.
Let's break down just how rough this performance really was. Angel Reese finished with only 4 points, missing 5 of her 7 shots, a stat line that tells only part of the story. 2 of those misses were wide-open layups, the kind of shots players at this level are expected to make with ease. Instead, they clanged off the rim to the sound of groans from the sold-out crowd. One attempt was blocked outright, and the cameras didn't miss a beat, capturing her visible frustration as momentum slipped further out of reach.